Welcome to Chemistry Cubicle. So in this video, we will study about the normality, molarity and molality. Okay. And I will also tell you the difference between them and we will solve some numericals which will clear your concept. Okay. So basically these all are normality, molarity and molarity. They are all used for expressing the concentration. Okay. They are all used for measuring the concentration of the solution. Okay, now let's come to the topic. What is normality? Okay, so normality is defined as the number of gram equivalent of solute. Okay, number of gram equivalent of solute which is present in per liter of the solution. So in normality we are not talking about the moles of the solute, rather than we are talking about the gram equivalent of the solute. So what is the difference between the moles of the solute and gram equivalent of the solute? So when we use moles of solute, okay, when we use moles of solute, that means how many moles of a particular solute, okay, how many moles of a particular solute will be present in the solution. But when we say the gram equivalent of the solute, then it is the measure of reactive capacity of the solute. Okay, so gram equivalent of solute means that it is the measure of reactive capacity of the solute. That is how many gram equivalent of solute reacted during a particular chemical reaction. Okay, so normality depends upon a chemical reaction being studied. Okay, so the formula for normality is gram equivalent of solute divided by the volume of solution in liter. Okay, now what is gram equivalent of solute? Okay, it is the weight of the substance, that is solute, in gram. Okay, so the formula for normality will become an gram equivalent of solute, that is gram substance of solute. Okay, okay, the weight of the solute in gram, okay, divided by the equivalent weight, divided by the volume. Okay, volume, if in ml, then we have to convert it into liter by dividing it by 1000. Okay, so this whole thing, gram substance, that is weight of the solute in gram upon equivalent weight. Okay, this whole thing is known as gram equivalent of solute. Okay, this is different from the number of moles. Okay, the formula for moles will be moles is equal to weight of the substance upon molecular weight. But what we do in gram equivalent, we take the weight and we divide it by the equivalent weight, not molecular weight. So this is the difference between the gram equivalent and the moles. Now the formula for normality becomes weight of the solute in gram divided by the equivalent weight into 1000 upon volume in ml. Okay, so this is the main formula for normality, and the unit for normality is simply equivalent per liter. Okay, equivalent per liter, or we can simply write it by capital N. Now let's see what is equivalent weight. The formula for equivalent weight is molecular weight okay divided by N. So equivalent weight will be equal to the molecular weight divided by N, where N is equal to equivalence factor. Okay, N is known as equivalence factor. Okay, so this is the formula for equivalent weight. Let's see the equivalent weight for acids, and the formula for the equivalent weight for acid is molecular weight divided by the basicity of an acid. So in case of acids, the equivalent weight for acids will be calculated by using the formula molecular weight divided by the basicity of an acid. So here in this case, N will be the basicity of an acid. And what is basicity of an acid? It is the number of replaceable H plus ion. Okay. It is the number of replaceable H plus ions from acid. Okay, so this is the formula for equivalent weight for acids. Now, let's see the equivalent weight for base. The equivalent weight for base will be equal to the molecular weight divided by the acidity of the base. Okay, so in case of base, the formula for finding out the equivalent weight will be equal to the molecular weight divided by the acidity of the base. So in this case, the equivalence factor N will be equal to the acidity of a base. And what is acidity of a base? It is the number of replaceable OH minus ion from the base. Okay. So this is the formula for equivalent weight for base. Now, if we have to find the equivalent weight for salts, then the formula for equivalent weight will become molecular weight or formula weight. Okay. Formula weight. So molecular weight or formula weight divided by the total valency of either cation or anion present in the formation of the salt. So in this case, the equivalence factor will become equal to the total valency of either cation, anion present in the formation of the salt. Now, if we have to find out the equivalent weight for the redox reaction, okay, redox reaction, that is the oxidation and reduction both occurs, okay. So it is the number of electrons that an oxidizing or reducing agent can accept or donate. So the formula for equivalent weight will become the molecular weight divided by the electrons, okay, divided by the number of electrons that an oxidizing or reducing agent can accept or donate. Okay, so here in this case, the equivalence factor will be equal to the number of electrons that an oxidizing or reducing agent can accept or donate. Let's take some example so that you can understand better that how to find out this equivalent weight. Okay. Now, let's suppose we have to find out the equivalent weight for H2SO4. Okay. Since H2SO4 is an acid and the formula for equivalent weight for acid is molecular weight divided by the basicity. Okay, so the molecular weight for H2SO4 will be okay, this comes out to be 98. Okay, so we have to find out the basicity for the H2SO4. Now, let's see the structure of H2SO4. Okay. So from the structure of H2SO4, we can see that it has only two H plus ions which are replaceable. So its basicity will become 2. That is its equivalence factor will become 2. So what we have to do? The molecular weight is 98 and its basicity comes out to be 2. So we have to divide the molecular weight, that is 98 by 2. So this comes out to be 49. So the equivalent weight for H2SO4 is 49. Now let's suppose we have to find out the equivalent weight for H3PO4, H3PO3 and H3PO2. Okay, so the formula for equivalent weight will be molecular weight divided by equivalence factor, and that is basicity of an acid. So the structure of H3PO4, H3PO3 and H3PO2 are this, and this. So we have to find out the basicity of all these. Okay, so let's see H3PO4. Okay, so in this case there are total 3 H plus ions which are replaceable. So its basicity, that is equivalence factor, will become 3. Okay, now let's talk about H3PO3. So it has only 2 H plus ions which are replaceable from H3PO3. Okay, so this hydrogen cannot be replaced from H3PO3 molecule. Okay, only the hydrogens which are attached to the oxygen atom, that is electronegative atom, can be replaced. Okay, so its basicity will become 2. Okay, now let's talk about the H3PO2. So in this case there is only one hydrogen which can be replaced. Okay, because these two hydrogens, okay, do not attached with the electronegative oxygen atom. That's why they cannot be replaced. Okay, so only one replaceable H plus ion is present in H3PO2. So its equivalence factor or basicity will become 1. So the equivalent weight for H3PO4 will become molecular weight divided by the equivalence factor, that is 3. In the case of H3PO3, the equivalent weight will become molecular weight divided by the basicity, that is 2. Okay, and in the case of H3PO2, the equivalent weight will be equal to molecular weight divided by the equivalence factor or basicity. Okay, now the value of equivalence factor, that is N, may change depending upon the type of the chemical reaction which is being studied. Okay, just like I have told you that H3PO4 is having the equivalence factor 3. Okay, because it has 3 number of replaceable H plus ions. Okay, now consider the reaction in which the phosphoric acid, that is H3PO4, reacts with calcium hydroxide. Okay, so in this case H3PO4 changes to calcium hydrogen phosphate. Okay, CaHPO4. So only 2 H plus ions are replaceable. Okay, or only 2 H plus ions are replaced. Here we can see that there are 3 hydrogens and here only 1 hydrogen. So only 2 H plus ions are replaced in this chemical reaction. Hence its equivalence factor, that is N, should be 2. Okay, so its equivalent weight will become molecular weight divided by the equivalence factor, that is 2. Okay, so don't confuse but stuck to the definition, that is N equivalence factor will always be equal to the number of replaceable H plus ion in acid. Okay, replaceable H plus ions or OH minus ion in base. Okay, so remember this definition of equivalence factor. Now let's suppose we have to find out the equivalent weight of this Al2SO4 whole thrice. Okay, so the formula weight or molecular weight of this Al2SO4 whole thrice will be 342. Okay, I have already told you that equivalent weight of salts will be equal to the molecular weight or formula weight divided by the total valency of either cation or anion present in the formation of salt. Okay, so Al2SO4 will contain thrice, okay, 2Al, 3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. So the total valency on each cation or anion will be 2 into 3, that is 6. 3 into 2, that is 6. So the total valency on either cation or anion, we have to take only one, okay, either cation or anion. So the total valency will be 6. So its equivalent weight will become molecular weight, that is 342 divided by the equivalence factor, which is 6. So it comes out to be 57. So this is the equivalent weight for Al2SO4 whole thrice. Now let's see what is molarity. Okay, so it is defined as the number of moles of solute. So it deals with the moles of solute, okay, dissolved in 1 liter of the solution. Okay, so the main point to remember about molarity is that it is a function of temperature. Okay, I will explain you later that how molarity will be affected if we change the temperature of the solution. Okay, now the formula for molarity will be number of moles of solute upon volume of solution in liter. So it can be written as M is equal to the weight of solute gram substance. Okay, the weight of the solute in gram divided by the molecular weight. Okay, molecular weight, and if the volume is in ml, then we convert it into liter by dividing it into the 1000. Okay, so the main formula for molarity will become M is equal to gram, weight of solute in gram divided by the molecular weight into 1000 upon volume in ml. Okay, so the unit for molarity will be mole per liter, number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of the solution, that is mole per liter, or we can simply write capital M. Okay, now let's see the relationship between the normality and molarity. Okay, so normality is equal to N into molarity. Okay, let's suppose if the molarity of 1 liter of H2SO4 at room temperature, okay, at room temperature, the molarity of 1 liter of H2SO4 at room temperature is 18.4. Okay, so its normality will become N is equal to, so the value of equivalence factor I have already told you for the H2SO4 is 2, because it has 2 number of H plus ions which are replaceable, into the molarity. Okay, so its normality will become 36.8. Okay, so this is the relationship between normality and molarity. So we can easily convert molarity to normality. Now let's talk about molality. So molality is defined as the number of moles of solute dissolved in per kilogram of the solvent. Okay, so I have written kilogram instead of liter. Okay, because the method of preparation for the molar solution is different from the molar solution. Okay, so we have to take the mass of the solvent in kilogram, not liter. Okay, it is represented by a small m. So the formula for molality is moles of solute dissolved in or mass of the solvent in kg. So let's see the formula. M is equal to the weight of the solute in gram upon molecular weight upon 1 kg of solvent. Okay, so this is the formula for molality, and it is represented by small m, and the unit for molality is mole per kg, or it can be simply written as small m. Now keep in mind that unlike molarity, the molality is independent of temperature. Okay, so this is all about molarity, molality and normality. In the next video, I will tell you that why molality is independent of temperature and how molarity will be affected by the change in temperature, and I will also tell you the difference between the normality, molarity and molality. Hope you like the video. Thank you.